Hello and welcome everyone. This is Blackadder at Blackadder's Place, and I'm here with another match from the Fall of the Titans tournament, right now being hosted at RTS-Sanctuary, and it's a first round matchup between Fen and torgale. As you can see, the gods chosen on this first map, that's going to be Marsh, as has been chosen by the random generator. Fen is going to play Zeus, which is basically his main god, and he rarely plays anything else, and torgale is right now going for Kronos. And well, as far as I know, torgale is pretty good with multiple civilizations and gods, so he kinda thought he can maybe make something happen with Kronos against Fen. So let's see if that's really going to be true in this game as well. So let's start off with Fog of War on, and let's have a look at Fen's position here. He already has a pretty good position with the starting hand, as is kind of usual on Marsh, and he sees the gold as well, and he is actually going a bit forward, hoping he can actually uncover some extra hand, so that he has this one closer near his base, because he is expecting a lot of aggression from Kronos, which is quite reasonable at this point, because Kronos usually goes for a fast advance and harassment early on. So he goes for a hunt that he discovered just beside the tree line, and well, this will slow him down by some seconds, but shouldn't be all that noticeable, I think, considering the normal advance times. At the back of his base, he's already discovered also some extra hippos, so he does have quite a lot of safe hunt, even though safe. He will have to wall to keep this safe, but well, that should be just as well good enough for him. Switching it to torgale's position, you can see that he's already going for a bit interesting scouting, going at the back of his base to discover what is going on about his TCs and the hunt as well. He has discovered this one, and inside his base he's already in a pretty similar position as Fen, as is usually going on in the maps here. Gold at the back as well, and yep, no problems whatsoever. Also discovering the hippos on the top side, so he will be pretty much okay if he decides to do something different than just an aggression. Interesting part is that he went for a bit of a defensive scouting with all three oracles, and right now, once these guys are at the top of their line of sight, he should be moving into the attack and see what is going on in the offensive, and especially where the opponent is. So let's switch off Fog of War and have a look at some of the relics. For example, 5% villager food wood, wood and gold gatherate, sorry, that's pretty nice indeed. And the other ones, wow, much more villager food carrying capacity, which is pretty great, especially for farming, because the villagers don't spend so much time going back to the TC. And well, better house manor, that's great for Nati, as their manors are then just basically fortresses for the villies. Better human soldier, pierced armor. Well, pretty great relics on this map, I have to say. Pretty great. In the meantime, let's check some upgrades. Really, compulsory hunting dogs. Compulsory hunting dogs, and same goes for torgale, and he might be slowly thinking about advancing, but he isn't yet, just gathering some extra piggies. And well, finally going for some offensive scouting, so yep. Going with all three oracles into the attack here, basically, and to see where all the hunt is, and if he can find somehow Fen, although he might have went a bit further. Right now it seems like he's a bit of a defensive and not really thinking about, yeah, most definitely not 330 crush, which is the standard strategy, or actually was back then, not really now, because it's been figured out how easily to defend against it, and well, it seems like Fen is having a pretty much a standard start as a Zeus, as I don't really see any problems here for him. Let's switch into his point of view, and he is already dropping a temple, and I don't think that torgale was dropping it himself. So yeah, he isn't, so he might be a bit slower than his opponent in advancing. So let's see if that's really going to be the case, and if Fen is already going for some economical upgrades, but no. And yeah, from my experience as a Zeus player, he should be going for some upgrades when he's advancing. I would also expect he will go for Jason, especially on a high hunt map like this, before he advances to protect against potential Promethean that might come up pretty soon. But so far, torgale is really thinking much more about, okay, these two guys, I would kind of think they might be going for a arcade TC. Let's see. They are definitely heading that way, and yep, it's an arcade TC for torgale, so absolutely no aggression, which is probably something that Fen expected, and he is going for an echo and trying to see if that will net him some kind of advantage and win him the game. This means that Fen can very safely gather food from the forefront without any worries whatsoever. And you could already see also on the minimap that torgale has moved his oracles a bit further towards Fen, trying to figure out what's going on. Fen has been gathering a bit of a favor, although I'm not really all that sure that he's going to stick with it, as Athena, yep, 67% is a much better choice, and he actually didn't go for the Jason, which is kinda interesting. You don't really see that often. He went after the advance, and he trusts himself that he's advancing fast enough to potentially stop even some possibilities like Crash and whatnot. Torgale is going for a temple right now, because when you go for Archaic DC, you are advancing at like 5.5 minutes, 6 minutes, hoping that the better echo will give you enough kick to actually go for it. And well, Fendo is most definitely going for the aggression here, going for military academy stables and also some extra Minotaurs, of course. So that's first, that was for free, and second will be up in just a matter of moments. And well, Torgale will be well aware of what's going on because of this oracle, so he will know when the opponents are attacking, and this hunt will be for at least a moment safe, but not really for long, because these guys are quite far away from the TC and might be very vulnerable at this point, so I wouldn't really stick my hand into the fire for them surviving or at least gathering the food at these points. Not any extra economy upgrades yet, but the first army is arriving at Torgale's base, and they are trying to take down the temple and trying to stop Torgale from getting extra units out as fast as possible. Torgale right now using at least the time shift to protect the temple and transport it into a much safer position, because he will need all the extra units that he needs, and from the temple he might be getting the first Prometheans himself. So far though, the game is not really going his way, as all the army from the classical Zeus is trickling slowly into the base, and yeah, he's doing pretty well with his raiding as well, forcing Torgale off his back hunt, and that's not good news at all, because his other food source is just 1 piggy, 2 piggies near his base, and he has already lost the tower, losing another one in just a matter of moments, and well, he's not even researching the extra towers, so yep, this game is slowly but surely getting out of his hands, even though he is right now trying to build some extra military. But, well, yeah, a tad too late, and really those Prometheans are not going to cut it at this point. You can see the huge amount of army here, and we mustn't forget that Fen already also has restoration, so that's like basically one more army like this on top of that. Yeah, those Minotaurs are pretty great against the TC, and a few hoplites, 3 here, but they should be more than enough, and with proper micro on the Jason, on the Promethean, come on. Yeah, here he is. He should be able to take down the TC without too much of a opposition, to be honest. There's absolutely nothing happening at the bottom. Restoration now cast by Fen, and yeah, this should be goodbye for the TC, even though finally we see some first army from Torgale. But, well, yeah, bolt used now, because Fen recognizes this is exactly the situation he wanted to force himself into, and his opponent more so into, and, well, he is losing the TC, being left with just 1, and without any army whatsoever, and losing a ton of Willies here. Yeah, that's goodbye Willy. This one is going to die as well. Yep, he did, and yeah, he has absolutely nowhere to run, and, well, that was a bit surprisingly fast game 1, where Torgale actually hoped to surprise his opponent by some 2 TCs. He maybe expected that Fen wouldn't go aggression, but would go for some standard 2 TCs and a bit of a boom, which would then play into the cards of Torgale, I would say, because he would be booming slightly faster, but well, Fen would have none of it, and he went for aggression, expecting that maybe the Crash himself would go for it. Well, GG, and 1-0 right now for Fen and the home map here, or other home map. In this tournament, all the games are played on random, so not really a home map. So Fen, well, quite expectedly, winning in everything, pretty much, just not economy. That's because of those 2 TCs, of course, but well, not even all those extra resources would help Torgale overcome his opponent. Yeah, as he had literally 0 army and couldn't defend against the 4.5 minute advance from Fen, which was pretty well played. yeah, probably not going to see anything all that much interesting in here, and are definitely looking forward to the second game here. It seems like torgale did have quite a lot of resources, a lot of wood as well, so he just kind of mismanaged his advance and the fastness, or rather quickness of building his military buildings and the army, and also the towers, of course. Well, GG then.